Bob couldn't harvest almonds without a tree shaker. And he's voting for me to shake up Congress. I'm Audrey Denney. If you've had enough of DC politicians that only serve their wealthy donors, then join me too. I'll get big money out of politics by banning corporate PACs and work for the North State, not special interests, to deliver better healthcare, schools, roads, and fire protection. I approve this message to do this to Washington. Thank you so much, Congresswoman, for that introduction. It is truly an honor. Friends, it has been a long time. I miss seeing your faces, and I look forward to the day that we can be again together in one room. But this evening, we are celebrating Shasta County, and we are raising money to support the Shasta County Democrats, and I could not be happier to be here this evening. First off, I just wanted to talk about the one thing that's probably been on my mind the most for the last month or so, and that is fire season. It's here. It's claiming lives, it's claiming property, and once again, while there are fires across the state, once again, our beautiful part of the world is getting hit with some of the hardest, worst fires in history. And there's a lot that goes in to creating a massive wildfire, and you all know that. We talk a lot about forest management and an overload of fuels, and we also talk about climate change, right? We talk about how our fire seasons are getting longer and our temperatures are getting higher, leading to more dry fuels, and we're seeing lightning storms in the time of the year we wouldn't normally. And so these conditions combined, along with many other complex factors, are creating these wildfires that are not only destroying homes and taking lives, but having a real impact on our economy, and having a health and safety air quality issue for not only our residents here in the 1st District, but people all over the state of California. And as we've been talking about for 3 years on my campaign, attacking the wildfire crisis will be my #1 priority. And we're going to do that in 2 ways, right? We're going to push for policies that help us get into our national forests, help us reduce fuels, and bring back the ecological health of those forests, right? So they can be healthy ecosystems that help provide water for the state of California, that can provide biomass for our industries, and can create a healthy, safe ecosystem for the plants and animals that live there, right? Forest management, #1 thing. And the other thing, what was #2 that we just talked about? Climate change. We have about 12 years, according to the International Panel on Climate Change, to make a change, to make this happen, to make sure that we can have a livable planet for your children and your grandchildren to inhabit, right? Climate change should be the most important thing on everyone's mind if we are forward thinking. And I've been talking about climate change for a long time as well, and thinking about how our region can become the face of mitigating climate change instead of the face of being the victims of climate change. So working to enhance climate change mitigation policies right here in our North State by one of them, right, is making healthy forests, helping our farmers sequester more carbon, helping get clean energy, jobs up in this area. These are all ways that we can, in Northern California, mitigate climate change. I'm running for the House of Representatives. I'm running for Congress, and I am running against 4-term Congressman Doug LaMalfa. And Doug LaMalfa has had 8 years in the House to do something, anything, about forest management, but he has instead failed to show the understanding or the care to understand even how forest ecosystems work. So we're going to cross that off of his list of things that he's working on. And climate change being our second big issue that we're talking about this evening, well, Congressman LaMalfa does not believe in human-induced climate change. So we're going to cross that off of his list as well. And I know I am talking to a group of amazing activist Democrats, and you don't need to be reminded not to vote for Doug LaMalfa, but the situation is urgent. It is urgent in our part of the world for these and many other reasons that we replace him. And replace him we will in 44 days. Folks, we are coming down to the wire. We are almost there. This 3-year journey together is going to end on likely the most important election day of most of our lives, right? And we are going to win this thing. So quick campaign update, and I'll let you get on to your next speaker. But in case you haven't heard us shouting it from the rooftops, we have been endorsed by Emily's List, which is the most coveted endorsement for female Democrats in the entire country. And they only select highly competitive races where they think that their support can really make a difference. And so this is the first big national attention we've gotten. And it just shows that our work, right? It shows that you have believed in us, you have knocked doors, you have done phone banking, you have donated, and that cumulative effort has proven to them that we are a worthy investment. So that is our big news in case you missed it. And in the next 44 days, we are going to continue to ramp up our digital organizing program. Now, we're in a pandemic, we're not knocking doors, but we are still working on reaching every single persuadable voter to make sure that they know to vote for me, but also to reach every single Democrat and every single supporter to make sure that they remember to vote and that they remember to turn in their ballot early. And if you want to be part of our phone banking or text banking endeavors, volunteer opportunities, I'll put a link here. There's a link here at the bottom of the screen that will send you there. But we've been working hard, folks. Many of you have been working since the day after the presidential election in 2016 to make sure that we see change at all levels this election. And even though we are in a global pandemic, and even though the wildfires are encroaching upon us every day, we cannot let up. For the next 44 days, we have to continue to fight like they are the most important 44 days in our lives, because potentially they are. I want you to remember. Tell everyone you know, make sure you vote early. As soon as you get that ballot in the mail, fill it out and send it back in. We want to make sure your ballot is in and counted well before election night, right? We don't want to lose even one single vote, because this race is going to come down to about 1,000 votes. So when people say they don't think their vote matters, this is why it matters. My congressional race is why it matters. And the last thing I want to talk about is money. And I hope that today you have or are in the process of opening your wallets and digging deep for the Shasta County Democrats, because donating to them is so critical. Donating to whatever local Democratic organizations you're in, or whatever county central committee you're in, is critical all across the country, because these are the folks, as you know, these are the folks who are doing the democracy building work every single day, right? Everything starts at the grassroots organization level. And when we have strong central committees, and strong Democratic clubs, we have strong people to run for city council and school board and board of supervisors. We are getting positive, progressive messages, forward-thinking messages out into our communities, and we're building the bench, building the pipeline to have candidates who are ready and qualified and excited to run for state assembly, for state senate, and for the House of Representatives. Folks, building our bench and building up our leadership in our area, our Democratic leadership from the ground up, is so critical, and that is the work that we are supporting tonight. Also, if you want to donate to my campaign, we're still raising money and we still need money. I always have to plug that in. You know me. But folks, seriously, on a serious note, this election could not be more important. We are not just fighting to make our communities better. We're not just fighting to have a cohesive vision and leadership for the North State. We're fighting to preserve the American experiment, right? We are fighting to reclaim our place on the global stage as leaders, and we are fighting for the very soul of our country. So let's get to work.
Our congressman works as well for North State business as this old tractor. But for his wealthy campaign donors, Doug LaMalfa could plow all day long. LaMalfa said helping small businesses was irresponsible, but voted to give away $1.5 trillion to wealthy corporations, and blocked oversight of COVID-19 relief, helping his big money friends pocket aid meant for our small businesses. I'm Audrey Denney, and I approve this message because our member of Congress should work better for us than this.